I'm Jay Michaels, and this is the Boston Sci-Fi Film Festival. What number is this one, you might ask? 50. 50 years. The Boston Sci-Fi Film Festival has elevated the concept of the genre film to where it is today. Academy Award nominees, Academy Award winners. And we have some very powerful films with us today for this particular set of interviews. Let's get right to it. David, let's start with you, please. Tell us about your film.
Sounds great. Thank you so much for the intro, Jay. I'm the director of Laika, which is an animated short film about the first living creature that was space, Laika. And really, this story is a little bit more about the scientists behind it who sent Laika to space and who had to live with that decision for the rest of their life.
And this is animated.
This is an animated film, yes.
Wow. That's a deep topic, really, when you think about it, and you're doing it via animation. Why choose animation for this topic?
It was a medium that I really wanted to work with. I was inspired by some Soviet posters, really early 50s designs, and I love the high contrast, really dramatic look of it. So that was really what inspired the art direction for it, and we really just ran with it.
That's very cool. Okay, that makes a lot of sense then, because the posters, I'm thinking way back to the posters of the 30s for the Federal Theater, all the way through to the 1950s space posters, if you will, and the depth of them, the art within them, really is quite serious. So of course, you're not doing animation. You're basically bringing to life the mood of those posters. That's great. Why this topic?
It was a short story that was given to me, and I was really drawn to it. I'm a absolute dog lover myself, and I think that was the instant draw. And the more and more I kind of explored the story, I think I was drawn more into the human element of it, and I love the historical element of it, and it was just a really an amazing story to explore.
Was there a level of sensitivity that you had to do for this, because you don't want to insult animal lovers and things like that?
I think so. Yeah, absolutely. I think it was important to be true to the history and then take the fictional aspects, which it does do, and take those in their own way, but to kind of treat each of those separately. And I think it should be true to history.
I agree with you on that. Did you encounter any obstacles with that?
It's a dark story, and I think that was probably the most challenging part for me was trying to tell a story that maybe ends on a dark note, and how to do that. How does that satisfy an audience? So that was a challenge for me.
Well, you've already satisfied me, because that's the answer I wanted to hear. I'm not an overt fan of when we have to make everything smile and joy and put a little bow on it just to make people digest it. I think the concept of showing us reality is not lost in science fiction, and I'm so glad you're doing it this way. Is this the premiere?
This is the Boston premiere.
So it's premiered elsewhere. How is the reception? How do people?
It's been fantastic. We've been at a few festivals in New York and in Los Angeles and in Vienna, and it's been fantastic in the UK as well. I think it's meant to be an introspective piece, so it's I think people walk out at least feeling something.
Excellent, excellent. I wish you a lot of luck with it, and I congratulate you on being daring, taking a moment in history and handing it to us in such an artistic way. Good luck with that film. When is it playing at the Sci-Fi Festival?
It's playing on Saturday at 5 p.m. So we're excited to be there.
That's like a big time. You're about the third film that I've heard is going to be the Saturday grouping. So I guess that's quite the day for it.
Well, I hope to see you there, Jay.
Indeed, indeed. Thank you so much. Best of luck with you on that. Ricci, the Ricci brothers, it says on there, which is great.
Ricci.
I'm sorry?
Like Christina Ricci.
Ricci, sorry. Tell us about your film.
Vai, quella te.
We actually produced this movie just before COVID arrived. It had to be a feature film, a 2-hour length movie, and for certain coincidences in which there was the virus, we interrupted the production and we were in lockdown, so we just started editing, and in the end we gave it a shorter cut, which was of 30 minutes. And yeah, I mean, still, you know, we closed the project, and we were happy to send it around many festivals around Europe and many others in the States, also in other continents. I mean, so we're pretty happy about it, and we're really working on the new project.
You're very clever. A lot of people just shut down production during COVID and just never
Yeah,
reopened.
well, you know, the house, it's an indie movie, so the house of the main character was my photo studio, because I'm also a fashion photographer, which I closed because of COVID. One of the actresses was my girlfriend I broke up with, and you know, COVID arrived. So in the end, we were like, you know, we were not throwing away this footage, so we gave it another. Well, the meaning was the same one. We just didn't tell the full story. So it's kind of a promo for a series or a possible future movie.
What's the plot line again?
The plot, it's about it's in a dystopian future where a really unlucky guy who lives alone with his mom, and he's never able to get a girlfriend, even though he tries dating online. He works in this hospital, which was formerly a public hospital and has been bought by a multinational, and it's slowly converting into a private company. Basically, he buys a robot clone, on a website called Golden Shopping Arcade, which is the title of the short. And he uses this robot clone, which he can command with like a joystick and a microphone. He uses it to do all the stuff that he hates doing on a daily basis.
Interesting. So we have the parable there of isolation. We have it on two levels. We have the notion of isolating the public from public health, and don't get me started on that parable. And you also have the notion of not being able to find love in one's life. So we have a true set of isolation. And
I think liberty is like a key word for the story.
Really excellent. Really excellent. When is your film? When is that happening?
It's on Friday. Sorry, I just screenshot it because I forgot. It's on Friday. Sorry, I think in the afternoon. Hold on. Friday. Well, a screenshot. Yeah, Friday. I don't know what time. Friday. Sometime on Friday.
I like that. I had another filmmaker who did that. I am an artist. I don't know when it's going up. I just made a film. Okay, great.
Unfortunately, we won't be there this time, but with our hearts.
I understand. Where are you? Where are you at this moment?
In Rome, or well, the city where we live. Yeah, Italy.
Very cool. I noticed it seemed to be dark outside. So I figured
the sun is going down. It's going down. It actually already went down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here it goes down really early. So.
Yeah, at 6 p.m.
I'm absolutely, and I know it's old hat to us all, but I'm absolutely fascinated when I could speak to people around the world. It could be midnight where someone is, and we can be talking about imagination and art and things. I think it's just I think there's the science fiction of it all, and I think that's great. I wish you the best with it. I think you've hit a really uncomfortable yet powerful topic. So I look forward to hearing great things regarding your film. Thank you. Katie,
thank you.
Katie, your film I've heard of, I believe. Tell us all about it.
Yeah, my film is called Small Town Universe. It's a documentary. It's a feature-length documentary. And it takes place in Greenbank, West Virginia, which is home to the world's most sensitive radio telescope. It's also the birthplace of modern SETI. And it's the only town in the United States where Wi-Fi and cell phones are banned. And so in this film, we take a very intimate approach of exploring this radio quiet community where scientists are searching for aliens, while at the same time residents are sharing everyday moments of joy and loss and connection without cell phones. Kind of in the midst of all this, the telescope is being threatened with being defunded by the National Science Foundation. And so the townspeople and the scientists are in this moment where they are considering which connections matter the most.
Wow. Okay, that's the reason I've heard about this. What an amazing concept right there. Which connection, the human connection, the technological connection. We're at that crossroads right now, so it's really intense. Are you from that town?
No, not at all. I'm from New York City, so I'm not from a rural town at all.
How was it there when you went there? How were the people? How did you feel being in a place where this is outlawed?
Yeah. No, I loved it. I mean, that was the whole inspiration for the film to begin with. I didn't come to this with the desire to make a film about SETI, but I'm so glad that I did. But I came to it because I heard that this was a town without cell phones, and that seemed very appealing to me as somebody who felt like they were addicted to their cell phone and kind of lacking face-to-face communication. To go a little deeper, at the time that I discovered the story, my mom had just died, and I'd also just given birth to my first child, and I was feeling very isolated, but I also felt like my phone was like my only connection to the outside world, but at the same time, it's almost like it comes with its flaws as well. So when I read about this town, I was like, whoa, like, what would it be like to live there? So we went there to visit. And that's when we discovered that there was so much more to the story, that in fact, yes, it is intriguing that they live without cell phones, and that's definitely part of the story. But what was more interesting is that this town was very connected because of science and because of the work of the telescope and the search that the telescope was undertaking. It kind of like connected the residents on a deeper level than if they had cell phones.
It seems it connected them to technology on a much purer level. It's not
Right.
just about I'm now going to text some lie to my friends. It's
Right.
now it's about the real depth of why we have technology in the first place.
Right, the deeper search and kind of when technology is used at its best, what it can do for us as humans.
And you say humans, it's very funny you say that because you're talking about seeking extraterrestrial beings as well.
Yeah.
It seems you yourself, as well as this film, seems to be the parable of connection. You lost one connection, gained yet another. You're in this town where they're striving to be human while looking for the next race, if you will.
That's right.
Technology versus no technology.
Yep.
Well done.
Thank
Really
you.
well done. Very fascinating. Very, very fascinating. And it's a documentary. There's something chilling about the fact that it's real.
Yeah, no, it's a real place, real people, all real.
To say, oh, I'm making a movie about where there's no cell phones. We get to go, oh, that's scary. I can't imagine. But it's science fiction, so it's okay. No, this is real.
Well, what's funny is that the film is not science fiction, it's science real. But I think that because, when we talk about extraterrestrials, what most people don't realize is that is science real, but it often falls in this realm of science fiction. But it's an interesting, I'm very pleased to be at a science fiction film festival because I think that is the wonder of it all, right? Is the unknowing of the search, right? So while it's very rooted in real science, I think the imagination and the curiosity that it piques in people is kind of where the science fiction element comes into play.
Completely. I've always contended that science fiction and even horror films are clairvoyant.
Mm-hmm.
what we consider, and you all your plots for all three films that we're discussing right now come under this. Where okay, it sounds fantastical. It can't be real. Yes, it is, or it
Mhm.
will be, or there it's been.
Future
It's been
real.
all along. And
Mhm.
it's future real. I like that a lot. I like that a lot. I'm going to steal that from you. I really commend the bravery of all three of you in terms of finding topics. You know, it's not about green men coming down from Mars. It's about these powerful moments of history. It's about these powerful human feelings that you're all giving, and I think it's really incredible. It's really incredible. We don't learn when someone tells us something. When someone says do this, we don't do it because our egos won't let us. But when we watch a film and we say, okay, well, Luke Skywalker's doing that, so it's fine. Suddenly it's great. So the fact that you're all telling us these fantastical tales, we're going to come away better people for all of your films. When is Small Town Universe happening?
So it's the opening night of the festival, which is the Wednesday, the 12th, at 8 p.m.
So you're opening the festival. There you go.
I think so. I don't know. There might be one film right before us, but I think we're the feature length film opening festival.
Close enough. First day opening the festival. Let's
Yeah.
just say that much. That is absolutely excellent. I wish you the best with this project. I wish you all the best. Thank you all so much for being here. Ladies and gentlemen, Boston Sci-Fi's 50th anniversary film festival happens, as you hear, the weekend of Valentine's Day. Log on to bostonsci-fi.com for tickets, for information, for t-shirts and ray guns. Log on to Boston Sci-Fi for all information about these and dozens of other exciting films. I'm Jay Michaels, and for Boston Sci-Fi, we leave it to your imagination. Thank you all very much for being here. All the best to you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks all. Take care.